Welcome back YouTube once again to the channel. I got another mod here for the F-150. I'm going to be replacing and painting the tailgate emblem. I originally painted it black but wanted to color match it to the truck, and I've seen it done plenty of times, figured how hard could it be, so let's go ahead and drop the tailgate and get right into it. So first things first, we need to get the 8 screws, as you can see, taken out. That way we can remove the panel and get access to the emblem. So let's go ahead and get those 8 screws taken out and get started. Alright guys, so the panel is now off. We now have access to the emblem. There are 5 clips that you need to release, then you should be able to pull the emblem right off. As you can see, I'm using some pretty long needle nose pliers that I picked up at Harbor Freight, super cheap. They actually helped out quite a bit because underneath the tailgate, even though it doesn't look like it, space is pretty limited under there. I also wanted to mention that there is some black adhesive on the emblem as well. And in my case, it stayed intact. I didn't have to remove it and was actually able to reuse it. But I know that may not be the same case for everyone, so keep in mind there is a chance you may need to get some new adhesive for the emblem. Now, is it necessary to have the adhesive on the emblem to hold it? No, because the clips will hold it in place just fine. But is the adhesive helpful? Yes, absolutely, because it's going to keep the water and dirt out, and you'll see what I mean later on in the video. So let's go ahead and get these clips released and get this emblem taken out. Alright guys, so now that the emblem's out, let's go ahead and disassemble it. And the tools you're going to need are going to be a drill, a 1/4 inch drill bit, a 5/16 inch drill bit, and a little screwdriver that comes in handy, and you'll see why shortly. I decided to make a diagram for you guys to see exactly what I'm going to be drilling out and what size drill bits I use for each area. Keep in mind that when you're drilling out these tabs, you don't have to put a lot of pressure, because once you start drilling these tabs, they're going to slowly just start breaking off. So if you noticed, I used the small screwdriver earlier as well, but this comes in handy because when you drill out the smaller tabs, the screwdriver makes it easier to remove the small plastic piece so that you don't break it. Alright guys, so now that the emblem has been disassembled, it's time to start painting it. I did a little bit of research for the silver color of my truck, and without having to order any special paint, I found that my local AutoZone had a Duplicolor perfect match for ingot silver. And for the black, I went with the same brand, just a flat black. That way it would match the other emblems that I already replaced on my truck. So let's go ahead and get started painting. Alright guys, so before I started painting the emblems, I made sure to shake the cans really well and do a couple test sprays first. That way I made sure that I got an even coat of paint when I started painting. I ended up doing 3 coats of paint and allowed 25 to 30 minutes in between each coat of paint. After everything was done and finished drying, I did end up clear coating only the silver parts of the emblem. And the only reason I did that is I didn't want the flat black part to have that glossy look. And yes, I know I could have bought a more flat or a satin clear coat, but I put enough coverage with the flat black paint that I didn't think it was necessary. So for the silver parts, I just ended up going with the crystal clear enamel from Rust-Oleum. And I forgot to film the other coats, but I ended up doing 3 coats of that as well. After letting everything finish drying overnight, it's time to assemble back the emblem. As you can see, I used Gorilla Super Glue, and if you look closely at the tip, I shaved both sides just a little bit. That way, when I applied the glue to the outer ring, it'll fit nicely there in the groove. So as you can see, all I'm doing is just dabbing glue all around the ring, making sure that I get plenty of coverage. That way the outer ring will be nice and secure. One thing I did want to mention is that you want to pay close attention to the way you insert the ring, because there's 2 slots as you see here in the picture, one on the top and one on the bottom. You want to make sure that those are lined up correctly because there's a certain way that that ring falls into place. But once you have it properly lined up, gently set the ring in place and make sure that it's secure all the way around. Alright guys, on to the next step. Go ahead and grab the forward cutout piece and make sure that you check the back side of the tabs, making sure that there's no jagged edges and that it fits nicely in place. Once you've made sure that the emblem's clean, go ahead and grab the glue, and again you're going to dab glue all over the back, making sure that you cover enough area so that the emblem sits nicely in place. Now that you have enough glue around the area, go ahead and grab the forward cutout piece, place it over the emblem, and press it down securely. Alright guys, now it's time to install the last piece. So go ahead and flip the emblem over, and all I'm doing here is test fitting the piece that I did to make sure that everything fits properly. So to glue this piece, as you can see, all I did is just glue the top edges, making sure that the parts that actually touch the back of the emblem had enough glue on them. Once I had everything completed, as you can see here, I wanted to add some extra strength. So I just put some glue around each tab that I drilled out, again making sure that it was securely being held together. Here's the final product, guys. So now we're going to go ahead and let this dry, and then we'll go ahead and get it installed on the truck. Here we are guys, back at the truck. Before I go ahead and snap this emblem on, as you can see, the adhesive that I talked about earlier in the video is still intact, allowing me to reuse it. So let's go ahead and put this back in. And there you go guys, it's that easy. So if you like this video, please hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think, and we'll see you soon.